Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and our Simple Abundance here. This is our journey through Sarah Von Bronick's book, Simple Abundance, and we're getting close to the end of October, and I can't even believe how few videos I've done this month, but as you know, it's not been a normal life for me lately. But look at, you can like sort of see something behind me, right? This is like the only area in the house that you can kind of walk around in now, and that things are kind of put away, but slowly but surely. So today's entry is a great entry that ties in again to the chaos in my life and some turmoil over making change, which has been difficult, but it's her entry called Improbable Happy Endings. And there's a quote at the beginning from Orson Welles. I'm sure you've heard that name before. He was an American writer, director, an actor, and producer. And he said, if you want a happy ending, that depends, of course, on where you stop your story. Right? So we're not at the end. We talked this summer about our true north and how we're kind of on this journey towards that, but that the journey is the main thing, and we're not at the end of it yet. So if we want a happy ending, I said this in another video too, we have to be happy along the way in order to have a happy ending. That's not Sarah's point today, but she says some things that just really hit home with me, and I'm sure they will with you, even if you're not having as crazy of a time as I am. So she says transformation has 3 acts, which include spiritual, physical, and psychological change. This is called, quote, the story. The emotional arc between what an ordinary woman was and what outside circumstances forced her to be, a heroine, isn't far from the faint of heart, but who doesn't adore cheering her on as she activates her improbable happy ending? We talked about being the heroine of your life, right, over the summer. Right at the moment, we couldn't be better positioned for success. We've lost control of our lives if we're not living the life we've dreamed of. But as heaven is our witness, we're going to regain that better life just waiting over the horizon. This is Sarah saying, when I imagine the future that I want, it's so exciting it sends shivers down my spine. But then, a split second later, when I think about how much I have to do between the dreaming and the coming true, the future morphs into a scary heroine story from Alfred Hitchcock, she mentions. Yeah. What do you guys think about that? For me, I shared with you earlier in the year, and I'm still sort of in this emotional place where I'm not super excited about the future right now. I'm trying to find new dreams and new purpose, and it's difficult, but that is a part of this transformation for sure. I wonder where you're at on this. I do remember earlier in my life that I was very excited and hopeful about the future, and I also can relate to what she's saying about how you can get a little bit overwhelmed in the thinking of all the things that have to happen between where you are now and that future that you want. Yeah. Each time you experience the new, she goes on to say, you become receptive to inspiration. Each time you try something different, you send the universe a message that you're awake, alive, and listening. We're going to have to slowly learn how to trust our instincts again. The truth is that we all have ignored those flashing intuitive red flags at the railroad crossings of our lives. Wow, right? The regret and remorse that truly keeps us up at night are because we received plenty of warning signals and didn't slow down. At some point, we didn't follow our intuition, did we? So naturally, now we're afraid of making any more mistakes. We need to remember that the misjudgment came from not following our intuition. Next, we need to learn to forgive ourselves if we're ever going to begin again. And that we need to learn once more to trust our creative nudges. Now there's a list for the essential transformation of our heroine. So let's recap. In the new quote story of our Renaissance, there will also be 3 acts. She told us, our heroine swears never to go against her intuition again. That's Act 1. Act 2 is our heroine forgives herself for the past. And Act 3 is our heroine trusts her new creative nudges, which lead her to the happiness she truly deserves. Which act are you in? Maybe it's like, remember we talked about the spiral path and how it's just a continuous loop, and maybe you're just constantly going through these 3 acts and you sort of start over multiple times. Little steps plus tiny choices equals big change. We are going to believe once again that our yearnings are blessings. We're going to honor and respect our creative urges. More importantly, we're going to ease, edge, or elbow our way into this brave new world with vision, vitality, and verve. We need those recurring moments of success and episodes of engagement in our daily round and throughout the rhythm of the year. So going back to the name of this entry, Improbable Happy Endings. What do you think she means by that? I'd have to think about that one a little bit more. I didn't come prepared with a definition. But I get what she's saying about the various stages that we are in as we are the heroines of our lives. And I'm in a new chapter right now, and I don't know what's going to happen. Will it be an adventure? Will it be a tragedy? Will it be a romance? Will it be a success? I don't know. I guess that's something that should be exciting, right? I'm not there yet though. And then I'm going to tie this next entry in with today's. I don't want to make such a super long video. I know I'm a few behind, but this one ties in well, and it's called Mount Rushmore Moments. And she tells us about, and she mentions Alfred Hitchcock again. She tells us about how he was filming he was filming a movie, and he wanted to shoot right on location at Mount Rushmore. And the National Park Service said, absolutely not. I mean, it's a national treasure, right? So that's not surprising. But so he still was able to make his movie, and they had to just really do a lot of special effects, and meanwhile the actors are just, you know, jumping on mattresses and stuff and trying to pretend that they're jumping off of Abe Lincoln's nose or whatever. But in thinking about that improbable happy endings, this Mount Rushmore moment, as she calls it, is kind of an interesting thought too, because maybe something's going to thwart your actual plans, but you can somehow grin and bear it, get through it, and still make it appear to be a success. What do you think about that? So Sarah says, I adore this story because it just goes to prove that it doesn't matter how successful you are, how much power you think you have, or how right you are. There's always going to be someone like the National Park Service who's going to put the kibosh in your filming of the chase scene. So what do you say we keep making a little magic of our own by discovering not only what we loved in the past, but what we love now? I know there are a lot of things you'd like to have figured out right now in this moment. You want answers right now, but we don't have answers because we haven't figured out the questions. Wow. That just hit me. Wow. There are going to be days where every time you turn around, there's another stumbling block to your dreams. When the perfect scenario turns out to be not as perfect as you originally hoped or as doable as you planned. We're going to learn to think of those days as our Mount Rushmore moments. Don't for a day down for a day, but pulling a pile of mattresses behind us up the next, making it work. Yeah. I just feel like these two are really symbolic to where I'm at, because I'm quite literally digging out of all my stuff right now and trying to find a place for things, and this is not what I really had envisioned for my life, but I'm trying to go with it. And I'm trying every day to have hope for the future. I think what I just went through, it's really just sort of opened up a lot of past hurts, and so I'm, you know, like I was doing pretty well over the summer, and now I'm sort of back to where I was earlier in the year. But it's the spiral path, and maybe you can relate, and I hope you don't mind that I always bring myself into it so much, but I really have enjoyed having this channel and you guys along with me. And I hope that as November comes that I'll be able to do more videos, because I think I only counted that I did 6 or 7. I will have one more for October to wrap up the month and to have our caution closet item discussed. But it wasn't really a normal month for my channel. And thanks for sticking around anyway. And welcome. I know there's a few new subscribers, so welcome. And please watch some of the older videos too, because we've been on this path now 10 months and it's been pretty interesting. Thanks again. Big hug to you all, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.